Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it is a great honor and an immense privilege for me to be here today, hosted by your prestigious organization, the Heritage Foundation, which I truly believe to be the pillar of constructive thinking and the cornerstone of prospective analysis in Washington, D.C. I'm truly delighted by your kindness, attention, and your continual support to my country over the last 6 years, and I would like to express all my gratitude to the Heritage Foundation for such valuable care in the promotion of Tunisia's peaceful revolution on both local and international political levels. I do sincerely consider the Heritage Foundation to be a key partner and our best advocate to the American administration for a higher level of cooperation and support. Ladies and gentlemen, the relationship between our two countries is quite unique and historical. Indeed, this friendship was actually sealed by a treaty signed in May 1797 by one of the founding fathers of this country, President John Adams, and the King of Tunisia, Ali Besha Bey. We have continued this friendship of mutually respected and shared values for 220 years now. As I'm sure you know, Tunisia, which is located in the heart of the Mediterranean Sea, at the crossroads between Africa, Europe, and the Middle East, has hosted a number of civilizations, cultures, and religion, and has always been known to be a land of tolerance. Though the Muslim faith is the predominant religion in the country, Tunisia has always been a safe haven to a Jewish community who continue to be part of our country, which has hosted the famous Ghriba pilgrimage for the past 1,000 years. Tunisia also gave birth to Saint Augustine, the father of Catholicism, and hosts a number of Catholic and Protestant churches. In 1861, Tunisia, not forgetting its progressive history, put in place a constitution offering equal rights to all citizens regardless of ethnical backgrounds or religion affiliation. In January 2011, the Tunisian people, keeping in character with their modernist ancestors, staged a peaceful and civilized revolution. I'm proud to say that through dialogue, understanding, and acceptance of diverse political views, Tunisia is now a full-fledged democracy and a true success story. It is also thanks to exceptional efforts, hard work, and a huge sense of compromise that the new constitution was voted in January 2014 and adopted by a majority in the National Constituent Assembly. The new constitution is based on the secular conduct of our political affairs and universal values and empowers all aspects of freedom and democratic standards. However, we feel that our new democracy can be seriously challenged if our economy fails to respond to economic expectations. As a consequence of the lack of sustainable economic growth, unemployment remains a major concern, especially for our young, educated population. Such a precarious situation can make many youth hopeless, which lead them to be vulnerable and easy targets for enrollment into terrorist organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, the current situation in Libya is extremely volatile and makes our situation even more precarious and complicated. Our country, famously known to be one of the safest places in the world, has been hit in 2015 by terrorist attacks, which have badly impacted our economy. As a result, Tunisia has no option but to firmly react and stand up for our choice of democracy. We have devised a strategy and put in place a number of measures to fight extremism and to fight terrorism, including a very ambitious program to stop the radicalization of our youth. And I am pleased to confirm that this strategy is showing very encouraging results. In addition, we have managed to destroy most of the financial supports of the terrorist networks with massive crackdowns on their illegal sources of income, mainly coming from border smuggling. We all know that terrorism is a plague to which no country is immune. The recent tragic events in Europe have unfortunately illustrated the terrible expansion of this phenomenon, and all experts have agreed the response cannot only be military but also political and also social response. The war against terrorism, following the unprecedented attacks of Bingerden city in 2015 by ISIS, who wanted to turn this border Tunisian city into an Islamic emirate, has become a symbol of the epic and collective resistance of the local people. The most significant lesson to be drawn from this success is the natural and spontaneous reaction of the local inhabitants who immediately joined forces with the military and security forces. Being at the forefront of the war against terrorism, Tunisia has already allocated 17% of its budget to security. This is a huge sacrifice in a moment when Tunisia faces many other economic challenges. As an active part of the global coalition against ISIS, Tunisia reiterates its call to the international community and especially to the United States of America to intensify efforts in order to eradicate the roots of extremism and terrorism through supporting our economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, around the world, corruption saps economic growth, hinders development, destabilizes governments, undermines democracy, and provides openings for dangerous groups like criminals, traffickers, and terrorists. Rampant corruption was a main driver behind Tunisians across the country taking the streets in 2011. The despair and frustration at the high unemployment rate and the poor economic regional inclusion were exacerbated by the perceived growing corruption. My government has taken the firm decision to tackle head on this issue of corruption. This assault is crucial at this stage to protect and cement the value inherent in modern democracies. This campaign has led so far to multiple arrests among the barons of organized crimes, such as large-scale smugglers and money laundering traffickers, and has generated a wave of support among the public opinion as it responds to a growing concern. Many analyses show that successful implementation of anti-corruption measures will benefit the business climate in Tunisia, spurring GDP growth by up to 1.5% per annum and boosting to more than double the foreign direct investment in the country. The Tunisian parliament has also contributed in designing a comprehensive anti-corruption policy, a bill for better public governance and transparency, as well as whistleblower protection bill were passed recently. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in a bid for economic recovery, a series of financial and economic reforms have been undertaken to restore confidence in Tunisia as a destination for foreign investors, but also to offer hope to the Tunisian youth who must be able to clearly contemplate their future and have the opportunities to fulfill their ambitions. In this regard, the Tunisian government has already enacted major and challenging reforms, namely the investment law, the public-private partnership, the banking sector reform, and most importantly, a legal framework pertaining to transparency and anti-corruption, which is one of the most comprehensive in the region. In so doing, Tunisia's priorities are to reduce unemployment among young university graduates and bridge the gap of regional development disparities, which implies the initiation of a major infrastructure projects to achieve an inclusive and long-term growth. Ladies and gentlemen, it is in this very difficult context that international cooperation and partnership become crucial in a largely globalized world in which no country today is able to address such huge challenges in isolation from the international community. Tunisia has always been blessed with great reliable friends who have never failed to provide their valuable support in the most critical and difficult circumstances. Such is the case of the United States of America, who have proved to be true friends of Tunisia during the fight for independence in the 50s and other recent periods. Tunisia is proud of being one among a few countries with which the United States of America have established strategic dialogue. And I would like to avail myself of this opportunity to express our gratitude for the valuable assistance that the United States have been providing in the framework of our increasingly effective cooperation in all the fields. Having been identified as a strategic partner of the United States and selected as the 16th major non-NATO ally of the United States of America is a signal of a strong support for Tunisia's choice to join the world democracies. We equally commend the American financial assistance that contributed in helping our young democracy overcome economic and security hardships. We remain hopeful that the assistance will be, if no further strengthened, at least preserved in its 2017 levels, as Tunisia is going through an exceptional and critical phase in its history and thus needs exceptional support from its actual friends and partners, such as the United States of America, in order to help the country tackle the growing challenges, including the war against terrorism and the war against ISIS. Ladies and gentlemen, we are well aware that all our friends and partners, including the United States, are also facing tremendous challenges and different sorts of internal pressures. It is nevertheless our firm belief that all these challenges have nowadays acquired a global dimension, and that facing them must involve a globally coordinated approach in the framework of which all the actors of the international community have to each play a proactive role. In our case, it is a fact that a stable and democratic Tunisia will represent an asset in the region and a bastion of fundamental freedoms to counter non-democratic forces of backward extremist ideologies seeking to hinder progress and evolution toward modern statehood. In its immediate environment, and beyond the fact of being as a model for a successful led democratic transition, Tunisia can be instrumental in these efforts to promote security and stability in the region, mainly in neighboring Libya. In this regard, I would like to point out that President Beji Qaid Sibsi launched a trilateral peace initiative, including Tunisia, Algeria, and Egypt, which aim is to broker a peaceful, negotiated solution to the Libyan crisis. The Tunis Declaration for a Comprehensive Political Settlement in Libya, adopted in February 2017 by the trilateral ministerial meeting held in Tunis, emphasize important aspects such as respect of Libyan sovereignty, the rejection of any foreign interference or military escalation, and to consider that the settlement will be only political between Libyans themselves, regardless of their political orientation and affiliation. The declaration also stresses the role and responsibilities of the United Nations to support and follow up any inter-Libyan dialogue with the involvement of the three neighboring countries. Ladies and gentlemen, President Sibsi's initiative for Libya is another proof of Tunisia's commitment and determination to play a role not only on its immediate geopolitical environment, but on a global scale as well. Our proactive role in the Arab world and our full-fledged involvement and contribution to the advancement of African affairs do reflect the importance of the place Tunisia holds and the respect it enjoys among its peers. On the basis of all those facts, and taking into consideration the United States' crucial role in world affairs, we firmly believe that Tunisia can only be a true and reliable strategic partner of the United States of America, a partnership which shall definitely serve not only Tunisian interests per se, but also those of the United States, as well as the international community in general, in global research for a peaceful, secure, and prosperous world. Thank you for your attention.